Hey, this is Annie.
And Samantha.
And welcome to Stuff I Never Told You, production of iHeartRadio.
And welcome to another happy hour way in the future. Like, we're from the past now because we're getting a little ahead because jury duty has cursed us once again, and we are trying to get things done just in case one of us is out, one of us being me. And mine's not going to be as interesting as yours, Annie, I don't think. All of my questionnaire seems to be about insurance fraud. So I'll come back and report. Maybe I won't have it. Who knows? But anyway, with this happy hour, we're not being currently sponsored by any of the things that we talk about. Love to change some of those things, I'm sure. If you're doing happy hour activities, do so responsibly. We trust you.
Yes.
Make good choices. Annie, are you sipping on anything for this happy hour?
I have both coffee and wine, which is fun because it's actually a Friday. We don't normally record on Fridays. And we are trying to get ahead. So there's been a lot of stress and pressure. Drink responsibly. But yes, that's what I'm sipping on.
We're going to pretend it like it's a brunch happy hour type of thing.
Yeah, sure.
So that works. I think it's interesting.
It's very.
I like it. Anyway, I, however, will say I'm not drinking because, not necessarily because I don't want to, just because it makes me sleepy. And now all these articles are coming out about like the Asian flush, if you know what I'm talking about, and how they're like, hey, this is actually a warning sign. Your body's trying to shut down because it doesn't like alcohol. So don't do that. So now I'm hyper. Like, I kind of always knew that. So consuming happy hour beverages does do that to me more, and it's been doing it more and more if I have a cocktail. So I'm doing less and less. Just putting that out there. But with that, I am doing some other things that are more and more. So Annie, I will say, as of late, I've realized that I'm kind of growing more into the lovable, wholesome things, which we kind of talked about just recently when it came to like Gen Z culture. And when I talk about wholesome, I also think about like childhood joys. So we will be doing a Spoiled Saturday. Hello, everybody, for K-pop Demon Hunters. And with that comes a lot of feelings for me. Part of that is kind of this wish that I had something like that in my childhood, wishing that I had that type of representation because of the importance of seeing that and how significant seeing that kind of culture is that embraces my ethnicity and my culture more so than being shamed, which is still a part of me. Like when K-pop Demon Hunters came out originally, and I'll talk more about this, I was really kind of reticent because it was a cartoon, and I'm not a huge fan of cartoons. B, it did idolize, for the lack of a better term, some of the things of Korean culture I don't love. But also, yeah, because it also felt like really childish. It's a musical cartoon, like it literally says kids on the label. But with that there's something to this point that I'm like, but I really like it. And I've gotten to the point that I love it. Like I've watched it a lot. I've watched it on your level of watching something that you love, Annie. Like that's the joy that it brings me, the moments that I have where I'm like, I feel like celebrating this and not seeing them as a caricature, not seeing them as a sidekick, a little minor role, but also the joy of feeling of these poppy songs. So to me, K-pop also seems very childish too, and like it's very cheeky. It's very like easy sounds. You dance around, and I love dancing, y'all. I love dancing. But more and more, just thinking about the things that I'm now allowing myself to like childish things, for the lack of better terms. My partner just bought me a weighted Highland cow, a stuffed animal. And of course, as a kid, I did have stuffed animals, but I didn't get attached to them. I got attached to one because it was similar to a toy that was sent to me when I was first being told that I was being adopted. It was a yellow teddy bear, and that was one of the first toys I ever had. So growing up in the orphanage, growing up in South Korea, I never had toys. Anytime someone bought me things, it was taken away from me and told me that I had to earn it, and I never could. I was never good enough as a kid to earn that. So I would see the toys like being hidden away from me, letting me know that if I didn't earn my keep as a 4 or 5-year-old, that I was not allowed to have these things. So I had one attachment to this bear because in South Korea, when my adopted family sent me a little care package saying, welcome to the family, essentially, it was a little cute yellow bear. So excited. It got stolen immediately because we didn't have toys in the orphanages. Like, obviously, I say this, and like, what you think of orphanages, yeah, that's about right. So with that, I didn't get to have these toys, and it got stolen before I left for the US, and I was very sad about that. But when I came into the US, I had a little baby shower for me, and I say baby shower, I was 8, 7, 8, so really awkward, but hey, I'm gonna take my toys. And someone gave me the same bear except a different color. It was blue, and because I had no imagination, I named it Blooper.
Yeah.
I still have it, actually. I carry it about. But I still don't have like sentimental attachments outside of that. I never had many like toys that I loved. Like I have memories of also like now more and more of, but it felt like I was faking my childhood. I was trying to fake being a child half the time because I didn't enjoy all those things. It didn't bring me as much joy. Like this is why I don't get attached to hobbies as often. You'll see. I don't get attached to I'm sentimental because it reminds me. Sentimentality is the remembering, but not necessarily always the connection. So like now that I'm older, there are things that I'm like, oh, this is amazing. I love that. Oh, this is amazing. But I feel like I can't have that because I'm too old for this. Also, again, like some of these childish things that I love, like the dancing. I don't want to be seen as the mid 40-year-old. You're pretty good for a 40-something-year-old. I'm like, no, but I liked it. Being patted on the back because I'm so old and I shouldn't be able to move type of compliments. So there are so many things because in my mind, I'm like, I love to dance. So our Zumba classes has great choreography. The people that I get from really have good imagination and understand like exercising and all these things. And it makes me sweat. And I feel like I'm actually doing something active and joyful because it's so fun. Like it's to me, all these things. And I see like videos of hip hop and numbers. I'm like, I wonder if I could do that. I don't even try because my theory of if I'm not immediately the best at it, I'm not doing it at all, stops me. But also because I feel like I'm getting too old. So would I be that cringe person pretending to dance that, if I were to start a hip hop class? I have looked up hip hop classes. I've taken a few. And I'm like, I really enjoy it. But there's still something stopping me because now that I am allowing myself to like things that are, I guess, not that are considered more young, I guess, not childish. I feel like I'm too old to enjoy it. I feel like it has now gotten to the point that it's either a regression. I'm like, this might be some trauma that I need to readdress, or that is cringe, as the youngins tell me on the TikToks. No one has ever said that to my face. I want that to be noted. But
maybe behind your back online.
Right. So I just want that to be said because also again like that Highland cow, it has actually brought me a lot of joy. My partner was really sweet because he also knows that like it doesn't make sense. Why would I buy this? I didn't even think that I wanted it. I have bought it for other people. I can reasonably like for you, I've researched things that I would think like I love that you love it and I love that you find joy in it and I want to keep doing it, but I feel like I can't do it,
Mm-hmm.
And same thing with like sending people, like a good friend of mine went through a lot of trauma just recently, and I sent her away to a cow, including like pet loss. Not a cow. I think hers is a unicorn. I could not remember. I need to go back and look. Anyway, you talked about how much she loved hers. And she's also similar to me, where we both like, we're grown. We're not doing this. But then when someone gifted it to us, it was like, oh, I really love this. I kind of want to.
Mm-hmm.
There's this level of wanting to find and be into that. Again, like when I talk about K-pop Demon Hunter, I know this is geared for young ones, 12, 14, 15. I've seen even 20-year-olds. I'm like, that's cool. I'm like, I love all of the TikToks that I see of grown people doing the numbers. It brings me so much joy because there is that love of like, oh, those are things that I couldn't do as a kid. Like I was already working at 13, 14 years old because I wanted to get a car. I was trying to be responsible. I was trying to grow up. I knew that if I go to college, I would have to pay for it myself. I still have student debt based on that. Like my debt went from it has gone exponential, like 10 times what I had originally borrowed, even though I've been paying it for 15 years. I've probably put in so much money, but it has not. It's only increased. The debt has only increased. So things like that, I was like, oh, this is what growing up was. And now that we're considered grown, feels like, I don't think it's too late because I'm still going to do it. But it feels like I'm faking my childhood a little bit. You know?
Mm-hmm. Like even now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a kind of different, perhaps obviously different insecurity around it because I have had these things that I love, and I have to say I've never bought, like, everyone who's given me a stuffed animal, they've always been given to me, but I've always loved them.
Right.
But my insecurity is that, like, you know, right now I'm getting ready to go to Dragon Con, that I just, there's a worry in me that it's like, you're too old for this now.
Yeah.
You're too old for this now. But I love it so much and I don't want to give it up.
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. And all of this is when we were children, when we would have been like, this would have been the perfect time, or like understanding of like, this is the timing for it. We didn't have the money. Our parents didn't have the money. We didn't have the time. We didn't have the energy. I don't have the energy now, but you know, like doing things like that. I mean, I would have probably really enjoyed Dragon Con at 20-something. But that is expensive, Annie.
Oh, yeah. And it's exhausting. It is very exhausting. It is
exhausting. The energy I would have had would have been in my 20s, though, I would have said. But also, I had the lower self-esteem.
Yeah. That's another issue that I run into a lot, too.
Yeah, there's so much like on that. And also, so I was also thinking about this because I used to love to write. My imagination was real dark. my stories were real dark. But it feels like it's kind of gone away because we live in such dark times.
Yeah.
That is no longer just stories. You know, like there's so much to that. So the timing of all of this feels like grieving, I guess is the best way to put it. And there's so much, again, I don't think I'm old. I look at myself and there's moments that I'm like, yeah, I've lost this, this, and this, and this. And these are the things that are happening to the things. And oh my God, there it is. My knees don't bend all the way. This is not good. But at the same time, I'm like, but I am a dink. I don't have a kid. I do have dual income household. We are joyful and can travel. But, and it's more accessible now than it ever was. And the traveling part is not the problem, honestly. Obviously, it's the enjoying of other things that may be typically my age would have never done. We should be at home with our kids worrying about school and clothes, you know, all these things. And not that takes away from, and I don't think there's judgment in that. As in fact, I think it's become more and more accepted. We know, actually, it's become more and more accepted for my type of lifestyle. But again, there's that back and forth of am I too old? Is this too much for me? Like even the way we dress, even what we like again, like me coming into K-pop, a part of that has to do with my trauma and fear of being seen as too Korean when I'm not Korean enough. Like it just happened in the last 10 years. And then in the last 5 years, I've really enjoyed it and tried to embrace it. I'm finally coming to the point of embracing my Korean adoptee status and trying to link up with Korean adoptee status when for so long that was a trigger to be like, no, I can't be like them. I'm not like them type of conversation, which is absurd because at the same time, I was trying to seek community. A lot of this. And then I'm not the only one. The same thing is like thinking about my adoption, birth, parent adventures. Still talking about doing a podcast. I don't know what I want to do. I think it's almost too late. All these things. But like I did discover some more information about my birth parents, and they're fairly younger, a lot younger than I thought they would be. Actually, they're about 5 to 6 younger than my actual adoptive parents, which threw me. And I now know my like mother's last name, family name, which was not the same as mine. Like all of these things. I talked about this with my name about like, could I change my name back? But is it too late? Am I too old for these new things? And I'm trying to figure this out. in such a way that doesn't seem constructive. Because again, there are things and moments that the inner dialogue just battles with. You'll hear the joy. I'm already kind of tearing up because I'm excited about talking about why the significance of a movie like K-pop Demon Hunter becoming mainstream in the US and in the Western culture, why that's so significant for me, and wishing that I had this as a kid, because I feel like I missed the timing to really love this. To be able to dress up. Like, what a costume idea. I dressed up as Mulan. And that's not my culture at all. And I did a really bad job because I found a robe and put my hair in a bun. Anyway, so many things that I feel like I've missed out, and so many things that I'm trying to come to terms with enjoying, that feels like I should have done this 30 years ago, you know? This is not a happy hour. This is a rambling thought of growing old in an identity that never formulated in my life. It's formulating now, I guess. Am I the only one, friends, who is really getting to this point, or really trying to enjoy childhood things now that childhood has passed?
I don't think so. I also think this kind of sounds like what Raquel Willis talked about. When you're queer, you come out much later in life, and then it feels kind of different.
Mm-hmm.
It feels almost like a rebirth or something. Yeah. Well, listeners, let us know if you have any thoughts about this. You can email us at hello@stuffwhatevertoldyou.com. You can find us on Blue Sky, Mom Stuff Podcast, or on Instagram and TikTok at Stuff Whatever Told You. We're also on YouTube, and we have a book you can get wherever you get your books. Thanks, as always, to our super producer, Christina, our executive producer, Maya, and our contributor, Joey.
Thank you.
And thanks to you for listening. Stuff Whatever Told You is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, you can check out the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your favorite shows.